A couple seconds till it's 7 o'clock, so want to be mindful of time. Start early, leave early. Well, good evening, everybody. And before we officially get the meeting to order, I would like to take the opportunity to swear in through 3 new council members. We have a new member, Joseph Lane, Michael Cotwold, and Marianne Karlavich. So at this time, we'll call one at a time. Mr. Lane, would you like to follow me, and we'll get you sworn in. Wherever you look, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Joseph Lane,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm
or affirm
that I will support,
that I will support,
obey, and defend
obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United
the
States,
Constitution of this Commonwealth,
the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and I will discharge the duties
and I will discharge the duties
of my office with fidelity.
of my office with fidelity.
Congratulations. And you'll get that one. And Mark will do it. Thank you. Raise your right hand. I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity. Congratulations. Mary Ann. Thank you very much.
The chairs.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Marianne Karlavich,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support,
that I will support,
obey, and defend
obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge the duties
and I will discharge the duties
of my office with fidelity.
of my office with fidelity.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
New members, I'm turning these over to Rebecca. She will get these scanned and get a copy of these mailbox. Members Council, congratulations to new members. Welcome aboard. Look forward to working with each and every one of you. So at this time, I'd like to call this meeting to order. First meeting, reorganizational meeting of January 2nd, 2024. My God, I didn't think I'd have to say that for a while. So this time, I'd like to pledge allegiance to the flag and then take a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You can be seated. This time, I'd like to open the floor if there's any citizens' requests or concerns they'd like to bring to the council. Hearing none, we will move on. First item for business. I'd like to hear some nominations from our council for position of council president.
I nominate Mary Ann Gerber for council president.
I second.
I have a nomination for Mary Ann. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none. We have a roll call, please.
Sure.
Councilmember Balil.
Yes.
Councilmember Kurtlavage.
Yes.
Councilmember Gerber.
Yes.
Councilmember Hubbs.
Yes.
Councilmember Eager.
Yes.
Councilmember Kaufhold.
Yes.
Councilmember Lane.
Yes.
All in favor.
All in favor? Mary Ann Gerber has been nominated as, is now appointed as your president. Congratulations, Mary Ann. At this time, I'll take nominations for council vice president for council.
I nominate Chris Hubbs.
Second.
Excuse me, who's second?
I have a nomination for Chris Hubbs and a second. Any other discussion or any other nominations? This time, can I have a roll call for vice president for Mr. Hubbs?
Councilmember Balil.
Yes.
Councilmember Kurtlavage.
Yes.
Councilmember Gerber.
Yes.
Councilmember Hubbs.
Yes.
Councilmember Eager.
Yes.
Councilmember Kaufhold.
Yes.
Councilmember Lane.
Yes.
Congratulations. We now have a new president and a new vice president. This time, going to gavel over for a new president.
Oh, thank you.
You're very welcome. There you go.
Well, we have a number of action items tonight, and I'm reading down the agenda. I will entertain nominations for assistant secretary. I should explain that the borough manager is the secretary, along with a number of other functions. She serves as borough secretary. But we do have an assistant secretary. I'm not exactly sure what the assistant secretary does, but we've always had one, so I will entertain nominations for assistant secretary. I nominate Darlene. You want to be assistant secretary?
I don't even know, you just said you don't know what it does. I don't know what it does.
I think-
I don't want to go, yeah, I want it. I have no idea.
Seriously,
Yeah,
I do think, we can clarify that at a later time by looking it up. It's a position that is in the borough code. And I think you support the secretary if the secretary for some reason would be unable to fulfill the duties. Doesn't mean you would act as borough council and you wouldn't be all those other things like the tax collector, all of that. But just the secretary part, which basically means being responsible for taking care of minutes. That doesn't mean you would do the minutes, but you would oversee the taking.
Who was the last one, if I may ask?
And she served for
Shed
a
any
while.
light on the position?
No, I never did anything.
Well, there you go.
My kind of position.
But you might have to if, you know.
I'm good at that. Possible. But anyway, there's a nomination, I'll second.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded that Darlene Egger become the assistant secretary. And I think I'll trust that to a voice vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Congratulations, Dorothy.
Thank you.
Consider appointment of the borough manager as borough secretary and treasurer, assistant secretary of the zoning hearing board, tax collector, and right to know officer. And I will make a motion to appoint Rebecca as all of those things. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. It's been
Was
moved.
that Mary Ann or what?
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to appoint Rebecca as borough manager to all those other functions. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I'm going to make this motion as well. I move that we retain our professional services for the borough. These are people that have served with us for a year, at least a year, and in some cases, more years than I've been involved in politics. So we have Giselle Cleary with Morgan Halgren, who is our borough solicitor. Our borough engineer is Rav Associates. Our borough auditor is SCK. Our labor counsel is Joe Hoffman with Stevens and Lee. GHD is our wastewater treatment plant engineer. Our sewer our sewer enforcement officer is with SEO, it's Mark Daimler with Solanco Engineering. Our zoning hearing board attorney is Neil Albert, and our zoning and building code enforcement officer is Rob Moyer with CCSI. So my motion is to retain our professional services.
I second.
Second? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The next one, I'm going to postpone until we have our first Personnel Advisory Committee meeting. There is a vacancy board. It consists of one person, and it is there in case there would be a vacancy on council and we could not, for some reason, come to a majority vote, even with the mayor, and that person would then break the tie. Dan Ziegler has been doing this for many, many years, and whoever is the chairperson of the Personnel Committee will have to check with him to see if he's interested in continuing. So we'll postpone that to the Personnel Committee meeting. I'm going to go right through you, Dave, and go to the Borough Manager's report. And I'm going to do these items since many of them are action items. And the first item is to appoint a representative to the LIMC. Lauren Houck had been president of council, and she was our representative to the LIMC. But I'm going to make a motion to appoint Rebecca, the borough manager, as our representative to the LIMC, and I gather that Rebecca is willing to do it. So,
I'll second.
thank you. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I should have said what the LIMC is. It's a Lancaster Intermunicipal Committee, and it's comprised of many of our sister municipalities, but most of them are toward this end of the county. Most of them are around. Manor Township belongs, Lancaster Township belongs, and there are many other borough managers who attend, so I think it would be wise for us to have our borough manager attend. We're going to be voting on item B next Tuesday. We have 3 borough committees, and as it stands, the Personnel Committee meets the second Wednesday of the month. Third Wednesday of the month, the Finance Advisory Committee meets, and the third Thursday of the month, the Public Works and Public Safety Committee meets. We usually advertise these meetings at the beginning of the year, so we save a huge cost of having to advertise them every month. So those of you who are in council, if you're going to have a problem with one of those meeting dates, you better let me know. In addition, I'm going to ask that each member of council send me an email or call me or contact me in some way by Monday of next week to let me know in order of priority which committees you would like to be on. There are committee descriptions on the website. So number 1 is the committee that you most would like, and number 3 is the committee you don't want. I can't guarantee, when you're dealing with 6 people, I can't guarantee that you're going to get a committee you want. In fact, I'm not even going to guarantee that you're not going to get a committee you don't want, but I will do my best to put you where you would like to be and where you feel you can contribute. If you have any questions about that, particularly Marion and Mike, Mike and Joe. If you have any questions about what the committees do, I'll be happy to answer them. And I'll make sure that you have my phone number before you leave and my home email address. Okay, check signers. I don't really think we have to do anything with that, Rebecca. Basically, the finance officer, and we don't have one as yet, because the finance officer that we did have quit, and she quit as of Friday last week. So one of the things we will be talking about is advertising for the finance officer position. Typically, the president of Borough Council, the vice president of Borough Council, the borough manager, and the finance officer can sign checks. And there's policy that I would like to continue whereby checks will be signed by 2 people, 1 person from Borough Council and 1 person who is an employee. And I think we'll continue that. Now we have some resignations to talk about. Rebecca, would you like to talk about that? How many resignations we have, and then we'll make some motions, okay? Like who resigned and what their position was.
Can you hear me? A bit closer. All right. So we have had 3 retirements and or resignations that have come up in the last few weeks since council has last met. The first one being Tim Ebach in our sewer department, who's been with Millersville Borough for 19 years. He is retiring as of February 2nd.
Rebecca, I believe we can accept his retirement now. Okay, so I will make a motion to accept the retirement of Tim Ebach. It's been moved and seconded by Darlene. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Moving along.
Okay, so the second one, which I believe Andy formally brought up at the last meeting, but the letter was received after the last meeting.
It was in December sometime.
Andy, the head of our streets department, has his resignation letter in for on or before January 31st.
All right.
After 29 years of service.
How many?
29.
Oh, I thought that was his age.
You're gonna miss us.
We'll do a reading.
If we don't vote on this, does it mean he has to stay?
Yes. Yeah. That's all my, no.
Well, I will move to accept Andy's resignation with great regret.
I will second it with regret.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, third one, Rebecca.
The third one, as you've already mentioned, was our finance officer, as you said, of last Friday, Sue Kornfeld, who served about a year and a half.
Well, I will make a motion to accept Sue Kornfeld's resignation.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Well, moving on, it's imperative, we will not have a personnel committee put together until next week, and I believe we'll do it right away. It will be January 10th. So those of you who are lucky enough to be on I say lucky enough, to be on the personnel committee should be prepared if there are no objections to holding personnel meetings on the second Wednesday of the month. You should be prepared to take a look at that finance officer position, the job description. We're using the same job description that we had used when we hired Sue Kornfeld to that position. But the personnel committee will probably take a look at where we should be advertising and where is the best place to get applicants for that position. Yes, Sue?
Mary Ann, on that meeting, just looking at that advertisement that you guys are going to approve on the 9th,
Yes.
that would not be in the paper in enough time to advertise the personnel on the 10th. Unless we did it in the reorg advertisement, and I don't think it was in that. So,
Oh, that does change things.
yeah, we advertised reorg, planning, civil service, park, historic.
Thank you for pointing that out. When will we be able to, will we have advertised by the third week in January?
Yes, if we,
It's just the personnel committee meeting?
I think I would have to check anything in that week. If the meeting announcement is approved, it'll go in the paper Wednesday. I should be able to get it in the newspaper Friday. So anything that following.
Well, let's do this off the top of my head. Is there anyone currently now on council who knows, as we sit here, that you would have a conflict for the second Wednesday, the third Wednesday, or the third Thursday of the month?
Is that
Evening. They start at, meetings typically start at 6 p.m. And they're usually over by 7.
I have a Wednesday conflict because I'm involved at the law, and I work there from 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock.
Well, you do, because you have to be in 2 committees, so one of those Wednesdays, it's 2 committees on a Wednesday. You're going to have to pick. It's every council person. So we will put that off until February.
Okay.
All right. But what I'm looking for now is permission to advertise the finance officer position. I'll make a motion.
I second the motion.
Okay.
Yes.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Motion carries. And permission, before I make this motion, let me say that it is pretty standard practice in the borough to advertise an open position that's a union position or not, but to advertise a position in-house for a week. So what we'd like to do is get permission to advertise the street superintendent position in-house for a week. There is a person currently in the streets department who is interested in this position and is trained for this position, but we just should really let everyone in the borough, every employee in the borough know that there's an opening. So I would like a motion to give permission to advertise the street superintendent position in-house.
I'll make the motion.
Good. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And now, Mr. Mayor, I'm going back to you.
You could have skipped over, and that's fine, because
You
I'm
have
nothing to
anything?
report. Nothing to report right now.
Nothing right now.
Nothing right now. Thank you.
And of course, the president has nothing. Is anyone aware of new business? We will not have executive session. Does the borough manager want to add anything to what's already been said?
No, nothing to add. Thank you.
Okay. Well, here's my favorite part before we get to it. Everybody jumps on this one. But before we get to it, I wonder if the three new people would stay behind for just 5 minutes so I can talk to them.
And also, I'm sorry to interrupt, I also asked if all new council, we could get together for a group photo before we all leave.
Why don't you do the group photo and then, okay?
Should we need an executive for that?
We need an executive session for anything. Who wants to make the motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned.
I'm sorry, I just.
Dust comes out.
All right.